rocket like rocket fuel.
Blow your mind.
Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? I'm in my new bag, my bag. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way to...
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call. Our Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you? Yeah. Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. See Russell Wilson bringing out the Seattle Seahawks here. Russell Wilson, you know, it's probably Lamar Jackson's MVP trophy, but he's still down there on the ballot with consideration, quietly having one of his finest seasons ever. He should wind up coming close to his career high in touchdown passes, which was 35 from a year ago. Interceptions, Charles, still amazingly low. He'll likely finish single digits for the second straight season.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Because during this holiday season, you know what he's like? He's like your go-to Christmas gift that you know you're going to love, and you absolutely have to have it. But at the same time, there's always that shiny new thing that comes along, right? Every year there's a new thing that hits. Lamar Jackson does that and takes the award away likely, because I do think that ultimately Lamar Jackson wins it. But when you look at it, you're wondering, how does Russell Wilson not win it? And we talk about that year in and year out with his dependability.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. A first carry now from Marshawn Lynch. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, But he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wilson going to hand it to Procise. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
From the 39, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They go play action now. Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Check back.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. Again, Wilson. And that one complete to Marshawn Lynch. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This one from 46 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carson Wentz bringing out the Philadelphia Eagles. And the big news for the quarterback for Philly, he's just been healthy all year. Knock on wood, you know, the injury, the ACL issues that he's had to deal with. And maybe not the numbers that he had a couple of years ago when he was an MVP candidate, threw 33 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, but a solid enough season certainly to have the Eagles in a division battle with the Cowboys going down the stretch in the NFC East. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. We're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Running with Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Seahawks back onto the field here, getting set for their next drive. You know, this is a team that great record this year, double digits and wins again, but they have played a lot of close games in 2019, haven't they?
They think it's character building, and they think it's going to serve them well come the cauldron of the playoffs. That when you play those intense games, those close games, they've been there before. Look at them. They beat the Steelers by 2. They beat the Bengals by 1 on opening day. How about the game against the Browns? Just by 4 against them on the road. A field goal better than the Niners in overtime. So they've been there. They understand it. There's an author who wrote a book called Grit a few years ago. Pete Carroll, the head coach, really bought into that and that idea of having a gritty, tough team. And we've seen evidence of it in 2019.
That's a great point, though. Come playoff time, if it's a one-score game down the stretch, they're not going to be daunted. A 2nd down carry for Procise. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Wilson got Gordon open, completes it. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Here we go.
First down, the run with Lynch. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the pistol, they run with Lynch. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Myers able to knock it through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Football going back to the Eagles, and Charles, this Eagles team and the Cowboys, what an interesting NFC East race this turned out to be this season. A lot of people thought it would be these two teams neck and neck. Well, they were right, but they thought the records would be a touch better. But if you keep it germane to the Eagles, what has gone right, what has gone wrong this year for them?
Well, what's gone right is that they have a good culture that they battle, because this season could out for Philadelphia because they have a number of injuries. They went through some losing stretches, and the whole thing could have gotten away from them, but they hung in there and battled all the way to the end. What went wrong? Receivers. By the end of the season, they were playing with guys that were bringing up from the practice squads, signing off of other teams' practice squads. None of the starters that were expected to be their frontline guys were available down the stretch for Philadelphia and their quarterback, Carson Wentz.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Wentz on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot
best.
on the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
You got nothing.
They'll run on first down. Lynch. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go, Heavy. What you got?
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And an alley to run. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble. 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Myers' kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
I'm coming after you.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And complete to Zach Ertz. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 39.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And they're running the jet sweep. This is Jeffrey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
A quick pass out to Aguilar. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 3 yards out, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A run there on 1st down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Lynch, he's got it on the draw. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mike, Mike, get ready, get ready, get ready.
On 2nd down, Lynch pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Brings up 3rd down. 315. Check 53. Blue down, blue down.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He may try and run for the Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Sproles. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
Through 1 quarter, 9-7 our score.
Check, check. Watch it before. Watch it before. Oh, you got deep?
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Lynch. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So after the run by Lynch, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. This is Lynch on the draw. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for... He's got him in. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wentz going to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
They go counter with Howard. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now it's Sproles. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. From the gun, it's Wentz. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
The 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Marshawn Lynch heading back out into the huddle. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A carry now for Lynch. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Quick throw out to Gordon on the perimeter. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, it's Lynch. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He'll dump it off to Procise. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. This one complete to Sproles. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. Pass incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. 3rd down here.
You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
This is caught by Jackson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Wentz now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On play action, Wentz. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 2nd down now, it's Lynch. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. With it is Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Running from the gun with Howard. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very
at the 27-yard line.
From the 27, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Wentz now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. Howard. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On first, they go right back to Howard. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. They do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now Wentz. And he finds Howard complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since it's
Mike, 49. Get your swerve on.
throwing now. Wilson on first down. It's caught. Block it. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
It's our time.
On first down, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. And they'll get him down up past the 15. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the screen.
A final shot before half for Wentz. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon God.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On first down. It's Howard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And this is Ertz with it, right side. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. Ertz has it left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Sproles. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw is Wilson. He hits his running back, Procise. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw. Gets it to Gordon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Lynch. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. Lynch. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Good footwork at the 30. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's Wilson. He's going to air one out, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I'm sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Wilson turns and gives to Procise. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The 3rd down run gets him nothing. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go with Howard again. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They go with Lynch right side. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down inside the 30. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They run again on 1st down, Lynch. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
6-man. Check cross. Check
On 2nd down, it's Lynch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So out comes the field goal team once more. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game, because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Wentz. Eluding the pressure. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Go. 280. Come on. Record.
On play action, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd and a yard, Wilson, and an alley to run. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
On 1st down, Howard down to the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Draw play. This is Sproles. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Pac-Man. 180.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
What's his son? What's his son?
On second and 11 now. Wentz. He'll hit Jackson complete. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Third and 6.
Go. 120.
54. Mike, 54.
What's that?
From the gun on third down, Wentz. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it's going to be second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson being chased out left. He'll try and run it. He'll wind up getting 4, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. He may try and run for this. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running with Howard. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Waiting. 50 seconds to Mike. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
It's a jet sweep as they get this to Jackson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Go. 180.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. They run with Howard. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott.
A 28-yard attempt.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, and a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Check 53, Mike. Here we go.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Here's Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Lockett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
First down, the run with Lynch. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. That's complete. It's Gordon. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now it's Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Now, field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th.
They're running it.
They'll go with Procise. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
They'll run on first down. It's Howard, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Wilson. This is caught inside the 15. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Here's Wilson. Gonna throw again. Got Gordon open, completes it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. From 3 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
On first down, Howard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go. He's checking. Crash.
Now Howard. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again to Howard. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.